Hi, my name is Robert Salvia. I play bass for Substantial Abuse. So we started around 2005. I had met my childhood best friend Anthony Parker in the 5th grade, and eventually he ended up meeting Chris around the 6th grade. Anthony was really into guitar. His father taught him how to play instruments, and he basically got me into the whole thing. So they said they needed a bass player, so I went to Walmart and bought a $75 first act and I think a 15-watt guitar amp. I was kicked out probably like 5 times because I didn't understand like time changes or even how to play or tune or anything like that. There was different variations of the band. Then around middle school, I purchased an Ibanez sound gear and I randomly learned how to play to time signatures. Our original drummer had moved out to Colorado, so we ended up switching around members, and Kevin Ordway joined, and he is our current drummer. So this is an Aria Pro 2 Cardinal Series CSB. Originates in 1983. The neck's made out of rosewood, and the body's made out of scrap ash wood, which they basically took blocks of scrap ash and glued it together, so the cost back in '83 was a little cheaper. These pickups are actually very different. The MBIV reverse P-type. It is a passive pickup, and the action is pretty awesome on this bass. Like the way that the strings dip down into the die cast is pretty tight, you know? I feel comfortable when I play it. I usually have like a lot of issues with like tendonitis and stuff in my hand. I don't cramp up on stage, really. So I guess, yeah, the die-cast bridge is pretty cool. Just got a volume knob and then a tone knob. Everything's pretty much original except for the tuning pegs. I switched those out with Grover tuning pegs because the old ones were just, wonky. They didn't really stay in tune too well. Kim Deal from the Pixies actually used to play a copy of this, and Cliff Burton would play this brand. I really like this bass because it has a nice punchy tone. Cuts through in the mix really well too. It's probably one of the better basses I've had over the years. A friend of mine, Mikey from Anxious Wave, brought up something really simple to me. He's like, it's one thing to have a bunch of pedals, but like, you should actually learn how to play your guitar and understand your amp for the most part. And that really hit me. So I subtracted all the pedals out and just went with the simple setup. So this is the Obi-Wan 500. It splits your bass signal into 2 separate paths. One amplifies the clean sound, and the other seasons it with upper harmonic distortion. So basically we're going to get the logistics of this. Really simple stuff here. They have these little pictures that are kind of fun. You can separate this into 2 channels with the foot switch. You got a volume knob here, treble, middle, bass. It's got a little blender, so you can blend in how much distortion you want into your signal. I usually like to have the distortion at 5, and I like to have the blend at 5 as well. Just so it's like dialed in, I've got a little bit of gain, but still a clean tone at the same time. We were really into the pop stuff at first, and then we got into the whole Seattle grunge scene, and now we're kind of like all mutually on like more like classic rock sounding stuff. Our influences all vary, but like we all just try to make like songs that jive well and are catchy and straight to the point. For bass, my heroes would probably be Kim Gordon from Sonic Youth. I really like what she did with the bass. She wasn't a great player, but with her limitations, she really did add a lot to the whole general sound of Sonic Youth. Dee Dee Ramone is a big influence. Yeah, he taught me a lot with like octaves and stuff and just how to like play straight ahead stuff. Mike Starr from Alice in Chains. I really liked how his bass sounded like a piano in a lot of the earlier Alice in Chains stuff. So recently we just put out an album called The Drip. It's on all streaming platforms. We have copies available on our Bandcamp. Follow us on Substantial Abuse on Instagram. And yeah, thank you for having me.